Once upon a time, I shared my idea on how we could generate enough passive income in the stock market with $500,000 capital to achieve financial freedom and to retire early. It could happen if we had a modest lifestyle. Then, a person mentioned that not everyone had $500,000 to begin with. Well, unless we are very lucky, I doubt anyone would have that kind of money from day one. Then, a long discussion ensued in which I felt there wasn't any real engagement. Anyway, if someone feels that way, it could be possible that there are others who feel the same way. Hence, the genesis of this post. Question: how on earth could an average worker amass $500,000 in capital through working and by being frugal? The operative word being average. An example was given on how a diploma holder making $2,000 a month would find it hard to achieve this. Well, if we were making $2,000 a month, we would have to make more money more quickly towards this end. However, if we did not do anything to change the status quo, we would continue making only $2,000 a month. We cannot logically expect an improvement in our circumstances if we do not make an effort to change for the better. So, stop being average. For example, a certain full-time private tutor I know managed to save $50,000 per annum. That's inspirational, if I do say so myself. He probably took on more students and worked harder. He should perhaps up his fees, but that's just me. All of us could make incremental changes to our lives to be more productive. What is the first step towards passive income generation? Find a job that pays us as much as we are worth or more than we are worth. Do not shortchange ourselves. If we are worth more than $2,000 a month, find people who are willing to pay us more. If we are only worth $2,000 a month, find ways of increasing our value. Upgrade ourselves. I would like to share another example here. I had a fellow soldier for a student when I was in the army. I gave him free English classes because he was not from a well-to-do family and the evenings in camp were pretty free anyway. He took his O-levels English paper twice before and he could not make the grade. I was then 24 years old and had just graduated from university, but I was quite a bit older than he. After a few months of lessons, I advised the student that perhaps there was another route that he could take. He should spend some time thinking of what he was really interested in and what he was good at. Doing English was an uphill task for him. When I met him again a few years ago, he told me he was doing some IT stuff which involved laying cables and networking workstations. It was all Greek to me, but he was doing very well with a pay of more than $6,000 a month. This is a success story which I still share with my students today. Find your strengths and build on them. Unless we are physically or mentally disadvantaged, if we would like to be richer, we could find ways of doing it. If we thought that making $2,000 a month was what we were supposed to make and that it was our fate, then, it would become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If we wallow in self-pity, the only people who would show us sympathy would be people with the same mindset. It becomes a reinforcing vicious cycle. We build our own traps. If we want to be richer, make it happen. How? The will must exist, and it must be strong. Where there is a will, there is a way. This rings true. When we make money, we must know how to save money. Recognize what are our needs and what are our wants. Fulfill the needs and delay gratification of the wants. Save as much as we can. Once we have an amount of money which could cover a year or two worth of routine expenses, we can start thinking of investing the rest. Must all that $500,000 capital be from working hard and being frugal? Going back to an earlier blog post, I mentioned that when we invest in income-generating assets, the passive income generated could be reinvested or it could be spent. If we reinvest, our targets, be it $500,000 or $100,000, could be achieved sooner.